What's up guys? Coach Clark, CPC team RunRun. Today's topic, should I train today? Maybe you're sick. Maybe you woke up and you feel like crap. Maybe you use a Whoop or a Garmin and you track things like HRV or your resting heart rate. How do you make decisions around should I train based on how I'm feeling or about how objective metrics are speaking to me? So kind of here's the rule of thumb, and this honestly is based on a little bit of research and science, a little bit of just my experience as a coach and also as an athlete and how I trained as a college athlete and a professional athlete, but how I treat life, to be honest. So the first thing is, do you have a fever? If you have a fever, no, don't train, okay? If you have a fever, do not train. That's straightforward, don't play with it. Now, what's a fever? Like, let's be honest, okay? If you have a fever, all right, if it's above 100 degrees, even if it's 99 high and you're burning up or whatever, that's easy, don't train. Number two, is the issue below the neck? Are you super congested in your chest? Do you have a stomach bug? Did you throw up overnight? If the issue is below the neck, don't train. The answer is no, don't train. Don't train. Take the day off. Now, assuming we don't have a fever and it is not below the neck, it's above the neck. I'm just stuffed up. I just got some things going on here. I don't have a fever. I just feel like crap, whatever. Here are some general guidelines. What I'll do from here is I will look at my resting heart rate. I'll look at my resting heart rate. I use a Whoop. The Garmin is good. I used to just take it in the morning when I was in college, okay? And I just literally put my heart rate monitor on and we would see. And the general rule of thumb was if the resting heart rate is 10% or above what we normally see, it's okay to train that day, but you really need to make it a restorative day. If the resting heart rate is 10% more or higher than it usually is, so let's say my resting heart rate is usually 48 beats per minute, 10% would be about 5, right? If it's 53 or above, I'm not gonna do a hard workout that day. Whatever's on the schedule, I don't care what's on the schedule, we're pushing it. We're gonna push the hard workout, we're gonna push anything that really anything that's above zone 2, if I'm being honest. Because what we wanna do is we wanna keep the heart rate on our training. So when we're training, we want to keep the heart rate below about 150 or 75% of your max, okay? And you can look this up, okay? We've known about this for a long time. 75% or higher of your max heart rate is when your immune system gets taxed. So if your body's fighting something off or it's trying to recover, if you go above 75% of your max heart rate, your immune system's gonna take a hit. You might not recover the next day. It might take you a day or two longer. You might make yourself sicker. That's generally the rule of thumb. So if I normally would go for a 6-mile easy run on my easy days that week, I'm probably gonna go out and run 6 miles, but I'm gonna keep it chill. I'm gonna keep it really chill. I might even convert it to time and just say, you know what? Because I don't want to push myself, I'm gonna run for time today. We're just gonna go for 40 minutes and I'm gonna keep my heart rate below 150. And I'm gonna make that day what I call restorative. More on that later. Okay, number 4, if I don't have a fever, my problem is not below the neck, and my resting heart rate is below 10% or is less than 10% above what's normal, but I still feel like crap. Okay. I'm gonna look at my HRV, or I'm just gonna defer to my coach. Now, HRV is a complicated topic. There's still a lot about it we don't know. For some people, it's lagging, so it's a day or two behind what's going on in your body. Some people's bounce around more than others. It's not super straightforward. For me, what I found works really well is I use my Whoop. I like the Whoop. If I am in the yellow, so it has a recovery metric, if I'm in the yellow or higher and I had a hard workout planned, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna warm up, assuming all these things checklist, I'm gonna go try it. Now, if I feel like garbage in the warm up or a couple reps into the workout and I still feel like trash, I'm not doing it. Now, if my Whoop is in the red, I am not doing that workout. No, I'm not doing the workout that day. I am pushing that workout at least one extra day. Now, here's our framework for should you train. If you're able to do something, so let's say that your resting heart rate's a little high, or your Whoop or whatever you use is telling you should not train, your nervous system is not ready to receive the stress, you shouldn't go train hard. And this ties into a bigger topic of like, if you're constantly stressed, if you have a really stressful job or you've had a really stressful day, some people think they should go crush a workout, hammer it out, lift hard, run really hard because it's gonna help them feel better and it's gonna help process that stress better. And the reality is that's not true. If you've had a super stressful day or week and you've spent more time in sympathetic nervous system levels, and we could talk about that later, right? Your fight or flight or whatever you want to call it. If your body's been more sympathetic driven, you need to do what I call a restorative day. Okay, the day needs to be purely restorative. Shoot, maybe you even need 2 restorative days. Remember, receiving training, your body's ability to receive the training is just as important as the training itself. So if you have been super stressed, the last thing you should do with your workout is go do something that's going to be really stressful. What you should do instead is do some restorative work that is going to help your body recover faster and help bring you to a parasympathetically driven space. Okay, so things that help us be more parasympathetically driven, but is still training. Okay, we want to do a lot of zone 2 cardio. Okay, zone 1 and zone 2 cardio will help your body be calm. It will calm your body down. There's a reason why people in the ultra sports are very zen and they're very chill people. Might be a lot of different reasons, but one of the reasons is they do a lot of zone 2 work. Okay, yoga. We might need to go do the yoga. We might need to do meditation. I'm a big believer of meditation. I'm a big believer of breath work. So what I'm gonna do that day is I'm gonna make it a restorative day. I'm gonna keep my workout zone 2, and you can do weightlifting that's zone 2. Keep the rest short, watch your heart rate. If you like to be in the weight room and train, you can do that. Just keep it zone 2. But I'm gonna mostly be spending my time aerobic zone 2. I might do some yoga, I might do some mobility. I'm probably gonna meditate and do a little more breath work that day. I'm probably gonna spend at least 10 to 15 minutes twice that day to bring my body back to a calmer and a more restorative place. The other thing you might wanna do that day is just catch up on life. You might just want to catch up on life. Maybe what you need to do is do work around the house or catch up on your homework or study for the test or do something for your kids or clean the room you've been avoiding cleaning, whatever the thing is, right? So in a nutshell, when you feel like crap and or you think you're getting sick, here's an easy framework to decide if you should train or not. Do you have a fever? If you have a fever, don't train. Is your problem below the neck? If it is, don't train. If your resting heart rate, so if the answer to both of these is no, you don't have a fever and your problem is not below the neck. If your resting heart rate is less than 10% above normal, if you feel like it, you can go ahead and do whatever was on paper that day. However, if your resting heart rate is 10% or higher, you probably need to take that day and make it a restorative day. If your HRV is super low or your recovery metrics or whatever it is you use, okay, are below the middle of whatever it is, right? On the whoop, for me, it's yellow. If it's below yellow, I'm making it a restorative day. If it's low yellow, I might even make it a restorative day, but if it's yellow or higher, I'm leaving the door open to do the workout. And again, things that are gonna make the day restorative: zone 2, yoga, meditation, breath work, catch up on work, take a nap, catch up on sleep. Hope this is useful. Peace out.